Hi Nikita,
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you? Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day. Is
Yeah,
it
it's
better?
it's nice, so nice to
Connections
see you
fine?
on the Valentine's Day. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Happy Valentine's
Okay.
Day.
Yeah, it's lovely seeing you on Valentine's Day, and and I'm happy that we are connecting with each other on this day. So, a brief about this platform Skillex. We started off in the pandemic last year, wherein we felt that there was a need to provide more upskilling sessions to the college-going students and also working professionals, and that's how we came up with this platform. And the Sunday Learning Circle has been a recent initiative to get together all the experts on board, so that experts, facilitators, so that we can learn from the expertise of one another, collaborate, and also work together in some way or the other. Yeah. So with this, it's my pleasure to have you in the ninth session of Sunday Learning Circle, and I'll begin with the questions so that we can start with our conversation. Yeah.
Sure, definitely. Yeah.
Great. So, Nikita, you are a creative educator, which makes me very curious to know about your journey. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, why don't you share your journey as a creative educator and also a DMT practitioner? And why did you chose, or maybe why you chose, storytelling as the topic and also visual journaling as a topic to impart learning and also teaching to the age groups which are, a very young age group, which is 8 to 12 years, I think. So, you have been catering to the students who are of a very early age group. So, how did you came up with this entire idea and how has been your journey so far? If you could share something with.
Yeah, sure. So, thank you for asking that question. I have been academically, I am a chartered accountant, but I have
Okay.
been a choreographer throughout my life. I love dancing, and that is how I pursued a diploma in dance movement therapy from TIS Bombay. And while doing that, I also did a certified course in dance in education. And in through that course, I realized that how powerful movement is, how powerful our body, our expression is, and it is something that we've never tapped into. It's a new, complete new, dimension of learning. And how can I integrate movement or theater in or drama into learning? And learning has been so I've been fortunate enough, I think, to have like school going children as well, but I have also catered to homeschoolers.
Okay.
So having that kind of exposure, I felt that learning cannot be like age defined. So I started with 8 plus, but now I also cater 4-year-old as well, 3.5 as well. So my youngest not participant, but my friend, I can say, is a 3-year-old, and the oldest one
Okay.
was, I think, 55 that I catered to. So the
Okay.
age, so the population, or the age group is like 3.5 to 55 years that I can cater to. And of course,
That's wonderful because I too love colors and I too like inculcating colors in artwork and yeah, drawing and also a lot of scribbling in my workshops, which
yes.
are more of the reflective nature. That's wonderful. Which takes me or makes me curious to know, more about these sessions that you are conducting. So, because the discussion of today's session is on storytelling, yeah.
Right.
So, storytelling and the storytelling movement, and because you have also been conducting a lot of session on these two topics,
Right.
so would you like to share, your experience on the relevance or the importance of storytelling among different age groups? So, how do you feel it is relevant, and also the importance of storytelling in the present scenario? Yeah.
Right. Right. So storytelling. So as a child, even a 2 year old or a 3 year old is very curious, and they love to listen stories. Like I remember when I was young, the best part of the whole day was when I listened my mother used to tell me a lot of stories. So that used to be my favorite part of entire day. So stories, they not only connect to us, but they also try to impart knowledge. They digital eh, digital the children are getting so many digitally, they're equipped, that they're losing their touch with themselves. So storytelling and movement is kind of our new concept, wherein we are trying to integrate values while they are getting connected to themselves. Different kind of values
Okay.
like courage, like gratitude, kindness, generosity. There are different values that we hear, but somehow we just listen, but we are not able to inculcate. And from the very young age, when we try to imbibe in ourselves, it becomes easier for us to practice later in our lives. So from say 3.5 or a 4 year child is also very very much capable of understanding these values, and also trying to inculcate it through movement. So children are, so in our space where we conduct this sessions, these workshops, children are allowed to move. They are freely allowed to move, and to like improvisation is one of the greatest strengths that movement have. I think you are aware of improvisations. So they can improvise on the story as and when they like. So a lot
Okay.
of
Okay.
elements are also from playback theater, wherein they can feel, or they can feel the emotion behind the character. जैसे for example, lion and rabbit, lion and mouse, wherein the lion gets trapped, and the mouse goes and he cuts the trap, and the lion comes out. This for the very young age, the very common story. But when a child gets into the character of the rabbit, or of the mouse and the lion, the two characters, that time he understands how the mouse feels, how he feels that kindness of the lion feels the kindness of the mouse, that he is able to break the trap and he's free. So this movement with storytelling enhances their whole approach towards learning and understanding of the concept, I feel.
Okay. Okay, that's very beautifully pointed out by you. That makes me really curious to know. So the age group and the students that you are dealing with, how do you, how do you motivate these students, or maybe how do you approach these students to, or maybe how do these students come to you for these sessions? That you mentioned that you have a space in which those sessions are conducted, and it's
Yeah.
a mix of storytelling and also the movement that
Right.
combines to form your program. So how do you approach these students, and how do these students get to know about your program when they, ultimately decide to enroll for the programs that you have launched for them? Yeah.
Right. So nowadays, what education system is providing is all about academics. But values is something that very few of us are practicing here, wherein we are focused on
Very true.
imparting values in children. And when that comes through medium of arts, like movement or story or drama, children automatically they get involved in it. Even if they spend 1 hour with me, they are completely involved in the whole journey of it, right? Hence they feel more confident, they feel more they feel alive, they feel present, they feel valued in my class, in my in the whole setup, and hence they want to come back. They want to feel their presence and their importance, and also that they are learning, they are understanding while they are communicating with us. So when a
Okay, so that
child is into the whole journey of enacting or executing, he is not, his mind, his body, he's completely present, right? So when he's completely present, he is enjoying it because he is doing what he loves to do, right? And hence it just makes the whole workshop beautiful.
That's wonderful. So we do have a lot of young students who are a part of our page. Would you like to share some tips on delivering a storytelling session to them, which could be useful for them, for the viewers
Yes.
who are there? Yeah.
Yeah, sure. So storytelling, honestly, हम सब करते हैं. We all have some or the other story which will not be like a Shakespeare or something great, but also that you went on a picnic somewhere, you came, what all you did. That's also something that you want to share, like that you lived. You have lived that moment and you want to share. So that is also something that we usually do. But sometimes storytelling is very interesting, I would say, for both academic learning as well as for your own journey, like your own value based journey. Academically, if the viewers are, say, age 8 to 15 years, wherein they are focused on their academics, they are focused on learning some concepts, right? So storytelling works brilliant because so any process, say math, like say geography or history भी एक कहानी है. It has some event has occurred in past, and our teachers just tell us. They are the storytellers. They just tell us what all has happened. But when we try to make it interesting by using props or by using the characters, it just becomes so interesting, and we want to listen, we want to enact, we want to be a part of it, and that's how we will remember it. So movement and storytelling has a long history because when we use movements, जैसे मैं अभी भी बात कर रही हूँ, I use movement, right? I'm using some gestures, I'm using my expressions. So all this movement will be stored in my muscle memory, which is completely untapped. We are not tapping that memory at all. So even if I would like to ask you if you have ever danced in your life, I'm sure that you will remember its signature step or one of its step. I'm sure that you will remember it because it is stored in your muscle memory. Even if that song is played today, you will be able to at least manage to move, little bit, because that is stored in your muscle memory. That is how we are trying to tap, integrate movement with learning. So history, geography, rotation, revolution, it is also a process, right? So when a child is made to rotate and revolve at the same time, he'll never get confused between what is revolution, what is rotation.
Very true, very true. So,
Yeah. Different science
this
concepts. Yeah. Different science concepts,
this
literature, any topic which has a process in it can be incorporated through movement and story.
So, would you like to share, any prominent parts of what constitutes to be the entire process of storytelling and, the
Yes.
movement process? Yeah.
Yes,
So, some
sure.
very prominent parts that constitutes to be the
Yeah.
entire process, that
Yeah.
makes the entire process. Yeah.
Yeah. So storytelling has major three parts. One is the beginning, then is the middle part, and then is the end of the story. So beginning is always about developing the characters, developing the elements, developing the objects. For example, how is the surrounding? Say it's a lush green forest. There is a scorching sun. So developing the elements is important in the beginning, because the listeners, they don't know what you are going to say, right? So to make them feel and to make them understand, it is very important that we develop these objects and the elements in the beginning. Say for example, there is a boy, but how is the boy? The boy is short or tall, the boy is healthy or weak, the boy is fair or dark, the complexion, so that the listeners, they can completely imagine the character, and they can move, they can flow with the character. If the foundation is not strong, then the whole story will be all wiggle woggle. So it's very important that we take some time, proper time, to invest in the beginning part of a story and build our characters, build the surrounding beautifully, so that the listeners, they completely are in the story, they understand it. Then comes the middle part. Middle part is the body of the story, wherein the some transactions happen, some transition happen. So there are whatever the character is there, so there'll be emotional, say touch, or say the taste of something, or the color of flower, the smell of the flower. So all these characters, all these elements are in the body, you know
Body, yeah.
the transition, the whole process of it. And the end is also important, because that is something that gives that aha moment, right? That okay, this was a story and now this is the end of it. So that's the climax of the story, I would like to say. So these are the three parts in which the story is divided. One of the very, very important is the metaphor that we use,
Okay.
like wise owl, uh,
Hmm.
sticky sticky bee, or anything, like the metaphors that we use while describing sorry, our story or our characters. Sorry, just a moment.
Yeah, yeah. That's
Also,
interesting. I mean, you have very beautifully explained the three parts, and which also forms to be the most important parts of
yeah.
any storytelling process, which one is wanting to constitute, and also
Yeah.
which one is interested in. Then one is actually sitting down to build his or her own story. So yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So also in the beginning, what usually I do is I start with a song. I start
Okay.
I start with a song, wherein the children or my audience, they move and they dance with me. So the song is connected to the story, and that is how I begin. So the begin can be through a song or a poem or a dialogue, famous dialogue or anything, but it has to be a strong beginning. if you
Okay.
understand. Yeah, that is how it is.
That's great. So, would you also like you have very beautifully explained, different parts of the storytelling process, and also, how can one start with any story, and you gave your example for that. Can you also share some tips on, how to build a powerful story, or maybe how do you select a plot when you are
Yeah.
thinking to build upon a story? And at the same time, how can you be an effective storyteller? So if
Yes.
you could share your tips around, yeah.
Right. So, first of all, to begin with, one must be very clear about the objective behind this session, behind the storytelling session that he or she wants to deliver. The objective is very, very important. Once the objective is checked, like you know what your goal is, then you can easily draft the story. But once you know where you want to reach, that is my objective, then you can draft the story. Okay, so once you know that you want to reach to point X, so to reach to point X, we'll divide the path into three parts: the beginning, the middle, and the end. Right? In that, again, as I said, the beginning, how it should be, the middle part, and the end part. So to make it more interesting, what I do is I try to inculcate a lot of sound effect as well. Sound effect, thundering sound or tapping sound, whatever the sound I can, like we can try to inculcate. Sound has its own power to deliver, which the dialogues can't. Right? So sometimes you might lack words, but the sound will try to, enhance the whole process. So
Yeah,
sound is something which is very important in storytelling. Your gestures, your expressions, because it's sometimes your storytelling is online. So your eyes are most powerful tool that you have, because your eyes can communicate so many things while delivering it. Say anger
very
or
true.
sadness or happy or cheerfulness, all this your eyes can easily communicate. So your body language, your gestures, your expressions, they play a major role while giving the story. Also, metaphors, as I said, metaphors are beautiful for people to connect and to understand and to relate with any character, any object. So metaphors, sound metaphors, these both are again very, very important. So these are small elements that I think any story, if we imbibe, it will just make it beautiful.
Okay, that's really useful. I mean, quite a lot of information that you have shared, which I feel would be beneficial for the young generation who are there, who are watching the video, and who would also be viewing the video once we end the session. So this is an open question for you. Anything that you would like to share, which we might not have covered, but which you would like to share with the viewers around storytelling, which you feel is important and maybe could be a source of encouragement for the newcomers who are wanting to, start or maybe who are wanting to learn the entire process of storytelling. Yeah.
Yeah. So as I already mentioned that we all are storytellers. We maybe not certified, but sometime in our lives we have said some incident or something that we've experienced. We have shared with our friends and family, not professionally, but we all have that. As we say, हम सब actors हैं, वैसे हम सब storytellers भी हैं. We all can easily communicate what we want to tell as a story. So for the young viewers who are willing to start this journey, I would just like to say that it's not a rocket science for any, it's not rocket science. It's a skill that we can develop and we can learn from each other or from some mentors that are already professionals who are there, amazing professionals who are there. We can always, you know, learn from them, and we can enhance our skills, and inculcating the pointers that I've given, I'm sure it's gonna be beautiful for a beginner to, you know, start with his or her own journey right now. Also, I would like to mention that we at Expressive Arts, we are not just limited to stories of like morals or value based, but as I said, in academics also we can inculcate the movement and these all elements, and we can make our learning more beautiful and more engaging. So once a child is more engaged in whichever ways we can, he and she will feel more confident, and he and she will feel more intelligent at the end of the day, you know, because they are involved in it and completely engaged. So as much as possible as we can make our learnings more engaging, it will be beautiful for us to, you know, experience and to learn. That is
Yeah,
what
very.
we at Arts are trying to you know, reach or to communicate to our young audience.
That's beautiful. And to end with the discussion, we would. I mean, I would love to hear from you your experience of imparting sessions to the very young students. So how have been your experience? Did you really enjoy it? How was the reactions that you got? Because you are dealing with the students who are of a very young age group. So, your overall experience and how was your emotional journey in this entire process of imparting, learning and also training to the students who are coming from a very young age group?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as I mentioned that the youngest child is 3.5 that I've catered to, and trust me that the smile is my whole experience for with them, because it's beautiful. My every session, whatever I plan, honestly, there is some things that change. You know, there is I improve at on the spot, because they are so young and they want to have their own opinion and their own ideas. So for example, in my one of my sessions, there was this 5-year-old child, and there was the goat was tied with a rope, and the lion was supposed to eat the goat, but the child didn't like it. She ran up to me, and you know, she just opened the goat's rope with which he was tied, because she was like, "Nay, goat, he shouldn't die," because she felt empathetic towards that goat. And that was beautiful to see a 5-year-old reacting in that way and expressing herself and saying that, "Nahi, goat nahi, he shouldn't die."
That,
Every session, every story has different impact on on, you know, various age group. Even if I'll tell the story again for the second time, the child might take something different this time. He will take back some learning which is different from the previous one. So no session is same, no age group is same, no child is same. Every day is different, and that is what encourages me, and that is what makes me feel alive, you know, at the end of the day, that, you know, every day is beautiful, every day is new and challenging for me.
very nice. So, I mean, I really, like the passion with which you were explaining everything, and I really also enjoyed your expression while you were, quoting the inspiration, which makes me
I am like
relate
the
to your life session.
storyteller.
Yeah, which makes me really relate to the sessions that you are talking about, and also the parts of the storytelling process which you just spoke about. One last thing, which city are you connecting from? Where are you based out of?
Okay, so I have practiced for last 3 years in Nagpur, that is in Maharashtra, and recently I've
Okay.
shifted to Vadodara, that is Gujarat.
Okay. And the sessions are also happening in Gujarat?
Yeah, now it is happening in Gujarat, but because of COVID, mostly it's online. Right now, mostly it's online.
Okay. Great. So, because it's you have we did connect virtually. I would also look forward to collaborating with you on the upcoming programs that we are planning to launch, and it would be lovely to also have you and your insights on various things, because I feel that the more creative we are in our process, the better learning it becomes.
Definitely,
And
definitely do
specifically
agree.
for holistic development, if we are talking about youth coming from all the age groups. So I would look forward to having collaborations with you and your organizations, and it was lovely interacting with you, and it was beautiful that you explained all these things so nicely. And I'm glad that we are connecting on the day of Valentine's Day. So happy Valentine's Day to you once again. Yeah, with this we come to an end to the. Definitely. We'll keep you informed, and let's stay connected.
Sure, sure. Thank you.
Yeah, so let's stay connected and let's collaborate and work together. Yeah. Happy Valentine's Day to you.
Happy
Bye bye.
Valentine's Day. Bye. Thank you.